you also briefly touched upon GST Council meeting, the 50th meeting. Lots of big takeaways coming out of that big meeting, but there doesn't seem to have any substantial impact on the stock market. But it's going to have an impact on industries, specifically the gaming industry, the industry that caters to sale of popcorn and cola. So essentially, your PVRs, your theaters, your theater owners, how their books are going to look like. But let's focus on online gaming.
Right.
There was a proposal, of course, to bring online gaming under taxation, and that has finally happened.
That's right. So let's link it back to the stock markets, and what is really happening right now is Delta Corp is at the verge of hitting lower circuit right now. It's down about 9.9%, trading at 222 rupees on the National Stock Exchange. And Delta Corp, of course, is one of the leading gaming companies, online gaming companies in India. Let's look at maybe the stock prices of Nazara Technologies as well. And before that, I think let's just talk specifically about so Nazara Tech is also down about 5% right now. So Delta Corp, Nazara Tech, two online gaming companies taking an impact of the GST Council's announcement on rates in the online gaming space.
All right. Let's understand from Amit perhaps what these changes are and what it will mean for the books of online gaming industries.
Okay, a little tweak, and that has amounted to much. Currently, online betting and gambling attracts 28%. Now what the government has done, and other games attract 18%. Now what the government has done, they have removed chance and skill. They have clubbed chance and skill together. So even games which are not about betting and gambling will attract 28%. And these have been curiously clubbed with gambling outings like horse racing games and even casinos. So that is the big change that has come. So even if you are playing a game that if a company is producing games that does not involve gambling or chance, you will still be in the bracket of 28% as against 18% as was the case before. Karthik.
So, Shweta, as industry watchers are seeing this, and even the Association of Online Gaming and all voices, pretty much the ranker on social media right now and in news reports, suggest that this pretty much could be a death blow to online gaming in India. And why is that so? 28% on the face value. This is not 28% on proceeds. So there is a 28% on the face value of every bet or every game played.
Okay, so to break it down, it essentially means that if I am putting in 100 rupees, 28 rupees goes towards GST.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter whether I win or I lose.
Yeah, so if you wanted to play a game with 100 rupees, 28 rupees goes straight to the government out of that. Now you're left with 72 rupees to play. Now, on those 72 rupees, you may win, you may lose, that's a different story. But if you do happen to win, there is also a tax collected at source, TCS, of 30%. And that pretty much is sounding like a death knell to a lot of gaming companies, which have attracted even FDI worth almost $2.5 billion in the last 2 years or so. Now, in addition to that, I think the fear among the gaming industry right now suggests that perhaps this would compel a lot of new gaming platforms to register themselves outside the shores of India. And we've seen these tax haven sort of investments happen earlier also in the IT space and in the e-commerce space. So there is a possibility now with this draconian sort of taxation implemented on both skill-based and chance-based games, for these companies to now set up shop, register their headquarters outside of India, let's say in a Mauritius or a Singapore or any other tax-friendly nation, and yet the platform be made available for gamers to play here. Now, what is this going to lead to? This is going to lead to siphoning of funds. So the 100 rupees that you now invest in a game on a platform which is not registered in India, you play with the 100 rupees, not with the 72 rupees. And this money pretty much leaves the shores of India and is remitted outside the shores of India.
Right.
And this in itself could mean a loss of revenue for the state as opposed to this 28% GST adding revenue for government. So overall, I think industry is watching this as a final sort of, nail in the coffin, that this is the end of online gaming in India, and gamers are going to still find it difficult to withdraw from gaming, and they will find ways of perhaps gaming on platforms which are not registered within the shores of India.
And then there is also a proposal of TCS on the proceeds, which is the winnings. So all in all, you've got to lose. You're
Yeah,
paying tax on putting in money, you're paying tax on
so
withdrawing
if you're
the money.
playing this game not for pleasure but for winning some real
And
cash.
if it's a skill-based game.
Yeah, so what the tax, I mean, what Nirmala Sitharaman, Honorable Finance Minister, has said that, you know, to me, to the tax authorities, it doesn't matter whether you're winning with skill or you're winning on chance. The idea really being that we are only bothered about taxation. We care about money being invested or money being churned into the system on a gaming platform needs to be taxed and needs to be taxed squarely. Can't blame her technically on the logic of it, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether the platform offers skill or chance-based games. But the logic here being that no matter what you do, if you're spending money on a gaming platform, that money straight away is going to attract 28% tax. So for a player, for a gamer, he's straight away down 28 rupees on every 100 rupees spent. And the proceeds, in case you happen to win, those proceeds are subject to TCS as well. So it's a double whammy pretty much. And remember, this industry has been on the sort of, you know, watch list of tax authorities for almost 2-3 years. In the past also we've discussed on how these minor tweakings have been made to add TCS, reduce TCS, increase TCS, basically bring this entire gaming sector into the ambit of formal taxation. And the expectation now also is that, and the positive expectation from the government is that if money does not leave the shores of India and continues to be in India, then states like Goa and Sikkim, where online gambling casinos are still prevalent, these could become sort of, you know, more bigger contributors to indirect taxes in the country. So I think these are the bets that the council 50th meeting on their 50th meeting sort of played, but enough and more backlash from the industry.
Absolutely.
So now it's a function of whether the government is going to adhere to the concerns of the industry and make some further tweakings, which has also, it's not uncommon. We've seen what happened with TCS on LRS, right? So it's not unheard of or uncommon for the government to make tweakings basis the kind of rancor that certain policy measures attract. And in this case, the rancor is fairly loud, and the stock markets are also reflecting that, with listed gaming companies, Delta Corp, Nazara stocks already down. And I won't be surprised if Delta Corp would hit its lower circuit anytime now and stop trading for the day. It's still down about 9.99%. So overall, the message from the gaming fraternity, the message from the gaming fraternity is that this is not going to attract more taxation, more revenue for the government. Rather, this is going to compel gaming platforms to set shop outside the shores of India, and it'll encourage siphoning of money, taxpayers' money, from inside India to offshores.
All right, let's quickly listen into what Finance Minister and also the GST Chairperson Nirmala Sitharaman had to say after that 50th GST Council meeting while addressing press conference post that big meeting.
On the GOM recommendation, particularly on casinos, race courses and online gaming, something on which the GST Council had formed a GOM in October of 2020, and since then this has gone round, second round of GOMs. The same GOM went through the whole matter again for the second time. The report was submitted. A lot of stakeholders met the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, who headed this, who was a convener of this group. But today I'm happy to say that we've arrived at decisions. And the decisions are, one, there will be some amendment to the GST law to include online gaming also in it. And simply put, you can of course seek clarification when you ask questions. Simply put, online gaming, horse racing and casinos will be taxed. They will be taxed at 28%, each one, and they will be taxed on full face value.
All right. Nirmala Sitharaman, the tax authority is saying that all online gaming, any type of betting will be taxed at face value. Industry is not picking on that information very well. We will of course keep tracking if that's going to change anytime soon.